Hi everyone, welcome to our professional development webinar for January 2021. Today we're going to be talking about transitioning from semester 1 to semester 2 with your CompuScholar courses. And by the way, if you're on a quarter system, just replace the word semester with quarter and all of the same concepts will apply. My name is Chris Just. I'm the president of CompuScholar. I've had quite a few years of experience as a software engineer as well as a curriculum writer here at CompuScholar. Always happy to answer your questions. You can reach me by email at chris.just@compuscholar.com. So today, again, we're going to focus on the logistics of transitioning between semesters with your CompuScholar courses. We'll start off and just cover the main considerations and things you want to watch out for. And then we'll explore what this means in the context of 3 different deployment options. Our standard deployment option with the registration codes, the automatic rostering and single sign-on that some of you are using, and we'll also talk briefly about the other LMS situation. So those are the 3 main cases we're going to cover. Alright, so what are the main considerations when you come back from your semester break and you're about to launch into semester 2? If you're teaching a year-long course, so the students started at the beginning of the year, they should run for 2 full semesters or the entire year, then all you really want to do is just make sure that the existing CompuScholar course that you have remains as is. You don't want to lose any of your existing grades or student enrollments or anything like that. If you are teaching a single semester course, so the course will run for the first semester with one group of students, and then you're going to discard that first semester course and create a new course for the second semester, either with the same or a different CompuScholar title and with a potentially different mixture of students enrolled, then things get a little bit more interesting. So big picture, what you want to do if you're transitioning from one course in the first semester to a different course in the second semester is first make sure that you preserve all of the grades and other data that you might want from your first semester course. So this, generally speaking, means exporting grades from your gradebook. If you want to save reports to spreadsheets, you can run and export those reports. If you want to download student data like file submissions or activity submissions, you can do that as well. And then once you're done preserving all of that data, you'll just go ahead and remove the first semester courses from your dashboard and then add in the second semester courses that you want to use. So exactly how this happens depends on your deployment type. So if you're doing a standard deployment, things will work a certain way. If you're automatically rostered, things will look a little bit different. So let's talk through each of those situations. So in a standard deployment, a teacher would actually create their own courses through our teacher dashboard, and those courses would have student registration codes that you would hand out to students, and students will create their own CompuScholar accounts with those registration codes. So if you are in a standard deployment and you are running a year-long course where you have the same set of students in the same course for semester 2 as you do semester 1, there's nothing to do. So just relax and hang out and enjoy the transition. So your CompuScholar course doesn't change, the student access doesn't change, all of the grades and everything remain as is because it's still the same course. So that's pretty easy. Now if you're doing a semester-long course, again, you want to follow those main steps that we talked about earlier. The first step is to export grades from your CompuScholar gradebook, and then if you have any other data you want to save like student submissions or reports, you can do that as well. Then you will remove those old courses from your teacher dashboard, so that's a manual step you'll take as a teacher. And then you will create new courses on your teacher dashboard. Again, that's something you will do as the teacher. And each of those courses would have a new registration code that you could give to your new students, and they can self-enroll themselves in those classes. So let's switch over to our online system, and I'll just give you a quick demo of how this all works. Okay, I'm logged in with the teacher account. Here's your teacher dashboard. You can see I have one single semester course here. I've got a Python course that I was using for semester 1. And so let's go ahead and dive into this course. And remember, the first step again is to export grades from the gradebook. And my suspicion is most of you have probably already done this. You had some deadlines to submit grades through your SIS to your students, and so you probably have already preserved the grades that you want. But just in case, you can come in here, click on the Export tab, select all the grades, and then download those items, and that will create a spreadsheet for you that you can save locally and then use that spreadsheet as the basis for importing data into your student information system. So that's all you need to do for grades. And again, if you want to run any reports and export those reports to a spreadsheet, you can do so through the report dashboard. And then if you want to save any of the files that the student submitted through the activities, you can go into the individual chapters and download that student work as well. And most likely you've already done that as part of the grading process. So once you decide you're completely done with your first semester course, you want to remove it. So to remove a course, just click on Remove Course from your dashboard. There's some important warnings here. So this is a permanent process. So once you select and delete a course, the data is all purged. So be sure that you saved any information that you want, again, before you go ahead and remove a course. So we're going to select my Python course and remove it. All right, now the course has been removed. And you can see the course is gone from the dashboard. And by the way, I should have pointed out earlier, if you're on a school platform license with a specific number of students, when you remove a course from our system, the licenses that you had allocated to that course will be returned to your pool. So I actually had 5 students that were allocated to that Python course, and I had 20 licenses remaining when we started. I now have 25 licenses, so all of the licenses that were attached to that course have been returned to my license, so I can then use those students in a different course. And naturally, if you're on an unlimited campus license, you don't need to worry about that, but if you have purchased certain numbers of individual students, then removing a course from your dashboard will return all of those student licenses to your pool, so you can use them again somewhere else. All right, and then the second step, naturally, is just to create any new courses that you need for your second semester. You can create any combination of courses that you like within your licenses. So I've got 25 students here. I can add a course. Maybe I want to do web design for the second semester with 10 students and enter a name. And go ahead and create the course. Now, in most cases, these courses will be created right away. Occasionally, there'll be a small delay as our system churns in the background, so just be patient if we don't have a course for you right away, but in most cases, you'll have it instantly. And here's your student registration code for the new course. You can see the new course is here as well. And again, if you forget your student registration code, you don't copy it down, you can always come into the course. You can see it right here on the dashboard. You can go into Manage My Logins and get the student code there as well. So don't panic if you don't write down that student code in the pop-up. You can always get to it later here from within the course. So now you just go ahead and hand that student code out to your new students in the second semester, and you'll be all set. And by the way, if there are students in the first semester that will be taking another CompuScholar course in the second semester, they do not have to create a new account. Those students can simply log into the system first using their existing username and password, and then come up here to join a course, join a CompuScholar course, and just type in the new code. And they can continue using their existing username and password, and they'll just be enrolled in that new course. So that's all there is for standard deployment. Now let's go ahead and move ahead to automatic rostering and single sign-on. So if you are using Clever or ClassLink or GG4L to communicate your roster information to CompuScholar, and have us automatically create all of your classrooms and your student and teacher accounts, then this section will apply to you. If you're doing a year-long course, and importantly, that course is represented as a full year-long course in your student information system, then once again, there's nothing that you have to do. Nothing will change in your CompuScholar environment. It will be the same course with the same students, and everything should just run as expected. So again, this is dependent on your student information system understanding that you have a one-year course and representing it as a full year course within that system and having that reflected to us through your Clever, ClassLink, or GG4L data. We do see quite frequently that what you would consider to be a year-long course is actually coded as 2 independent single semester courses in your system. So if that is the case, those 2 courses would actually be represented to CompuScholar as 2 independent courses, one of them in semester 1 and the second one in semester 2. And what we want to do is ensure that you continue using the same CompuScholar course to preserve your student progress and grades and enrollments. So our automatic sync should detect this transition and make any necessary adjustments. So if your class name changes slightly from semester 1 to semester 2, if there's a slightly different mixture of student enrollments and so forth, the automatic sync should detect and handle that. However, this is a heuristic. It's an algorithm that attempts to do some matching because the clever ClassLink and GG for All data doesn't actually tell us that you're transitioning between these two courses. So we have to kind of guess and figure it out on our own. So please just double check your classes in the second semester and make sure that you have all the students enrolled that you expect and so forth. And if there's any problems, let us know and we'll get it sorted out. Now, if you're in this automatic rostering and single sign-on deployment for semester-long courses, what you want to realize is that these semester-long courses are usually marked with some sort of term dates in your roster data. So your roster is going to tell us that your semester 1 term starts on a certain date and stops on a certain date, and your semester 2 will then pick up on a start date, a new start date, and then end on a new end date. So we do actually pay attention to those dates in the sync, and that becomes a little bit important. So prior to the stop date for your first term, so if your school says your term ends on December 26th, just to pick a date, then you want to make sure you export your grades from your CompuScholar gradebook before that term ends. So when that term does end and your roster data tells us to turn off those classes, the courses will automatically disappear from your dashboard. So our nightly sync will pick up, see that your first term is ended, and remove those classes and kind of prepare the way for the second term. So when that second term does start, then the new courses and student enrollment should be automatically created by the nightly sync. So just like the first semester, there's nothing you have to do. At some point, all the data will just appear and you can begin your second term. So usually the first and second term dates that are provided in your student information system are a pretty good match for what you actually need on the ground. But if you find that you need your first semester classes longer than your term end date, or you need your second semester classes earlier than the start of your second term, please contact us. Let us work with you to manage that data a little bit more closely, and we can usually get that sorted out so that you have access to the courses that you need on the time frame that you need them. So the last deployment type that we wanted to talk about is other LMS. So this means you're actually hosting your CompuScholar courses in Canvas or Schoology or some other sort of similar learning management system. So if that is the case, then you're not actually working with CompuScholar at all in order to transition between your semesters. So we don't have your student accounts, we don't have your enrollments, we haven't created any classes for you, we don't have any of your data. All of that is kept in your learning management system and not ours. Therefore, any turnover plans for your semester should be specified by your district and the management team that's in charge of your learning management system. So definitely please check with those folks and make sure that you understand what's going to happen as you transition from semester 1 to semester 2. Our expectation is that your district has that nicely automated and smoothed out, but if there's any questions about how it's going to work, please don't hesitate to check with your district team, and they can certainly explain what's going to happen as you move from semester 1 to semester 2 in your particular case. So that's it for today. It was pretty easy. We just wanted to make sure that everybody was level set in terms of what's going to happen as you move into your second semester. We appreciate your time today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can reach us by phone or through our website, or you can contact your customer service representative.